video lecture number 22 1.3 The Cough and the Anthem by O. Henry. Hello dear students and dear friends. In my last video lecture I discussed the icebreakers of the lesson The Cough and the Anthem. I had also introduced you the writer O. Henry and the lesson or the story The Cough and the Anthem. Today too I will continue with the same lesson and I will discuss the content of the lesson and the margin activities in the lesson The Cough and the Anthem. So first I will discuss the content of the lesson in brief. O. Henry is an American writer. His real name was William Sidney Porter. Most of his stories have twisted endings. The story or this present story, The Cough and the Anthem, is one of his well-known stories. In this story, the main character is Soapy. Soapy has a criminal background. He makes different plans to re-enter the prison as he has no shelter to protect himself from the severe winter. I repeat, in this story, the main character is Soapy. Soapy has a criminal background. He is a vagabond. He makes different plans to re-enter the prison as he has no shelter to protect himself from the severe winter. This story ends in an unexpected way. Initially, Soapy feels that there is an easy living in prison. So, he makes many attempts to get arrested and to go to the prison. But all his attempts proved to be futile. In the end, the notes of the anthem transform him and he resolves to work hard and to live a virtuous life. In the end of this story, the notes of the anthem change him, transform him, and he resolves to work hard and to live a virtuous life. The irony of fate is that the moment Soapy realizes the real freedom lies in virtuous life and decides to live an honest life, he is arrested and taken to the prison. This is the irony of fate. Now, let's turn towards the theme of this story. What is the theme of this story, the cough and the anthem? The major theme of the story, the cough and the anthem, is freedom and confinement. This story has another theme too. Another theme of this story is how some inspiring notes or tunes of the music can motivate and change a person's life. So this is the second theme of this story. Now let's turn towards the margin activities of this lesson, or margin activities in this lesson. So friends, please open your textbook of English and see the margin activities on page number 28, or you can also read these margin activities on the screen in front of you. Now see the margin activity. Guess the meaning of the expression in the context. 1. Winter island means here prison. Second word, I fell upon means saw or noticed. Now please turn on the page or see on the next page. See on the next page, that is page number 29. The next margin activity on the next page. Now I read the activity and I will myself tell you the answers too. But friends, after listening my video lecture, you have to read this lesson in detail, line by line, twice or thrice, and you have to solve all these activities on your own. Now let's go for the next activity in the margin. Now see, Soapy took a stone because Soapy took a stone because he wanted to break the glass of the shop window. Because he wanted to break the glass of the shop window. This would result in a policeman arresting him for this act, and he would be imprisoned for the winter, which was exactly what he wanted. Now let's go for the next activity in the margin. The next margin activity is discuss the hidden meaning in the expression. It created two large appetites and modest purses. Now what is the meaning of this? Hidden meaning of this. What is the hidden meaning of the expression, or in the expression it catered to large appetites and modest purses. Now the hidden meaning of this expression is: the restaurant prepared food for ordinary workers who had large appetites but very little money. Who had large appetites. Appetites means hunger, but very little money. I repeat the answer of this. The hidden meaning of the expression "it catered to large appetites and modest purses" is: the restaurant prepared food for ordinary workers who had large appetites but very little money. Now the next margin activity, guess the meaning. The first word is napery. Napery means table linen. Napery means table linen. The next word is betook. Betook means to cause oneself to go. Betook means to cause oneself to go. Now the next one, please turn on the page and see the margin activities on the next page. See the margin activities on the next page. Now see the margin activity. Discuss the meaning in the context. He caught at the immediate straw of disorderly conduct. Now what is the meaning of this sentence in the context? Now I tell you the answer. Soapy wanted to be arrested by a policeman and imprisoned. However, his efforts towards the end had been unsuccessful, and he was worried that he would continue to be unsuccessful. When he suddenly came upon a policeman longing in front of a theater, an idea struck him. He felt that if he shouted and screamed and made a lot of noise, he would be arrested for behaving in a dangerous and disturbing way in public and would be imprisoned, which was what he wanted. Now the next margin activity on the next page. See on the next page. The margin activity is Soapy was angry because even after he had stolen a man's umbrella, the man did not report him to the police, but instead apologized and said that perhaps he had made a mistake. Now, see the next activity in the margin. Now, the activity is describe the wonderful change in Soapy's soul. Describe the wonderful change in Soapy's soul. Now, I tell you the answer. After listening the anthem, Soapy remembers his earlier life and is horrified to realize that he has indeed become a degraded person. He decides to pull himself out of this pit into which he has fallen. Soapy decides to pull himself out of this pit into which he has fallen and make a man of himself again. He determines to bring back to his life his old eager ambitions and pursue them. He makes up his mind to take up a job. Now turn on the page and see the margin activity on the next page. The margin activity on the next page. Describe the end of the story in your own words. Describe the end of the story in your own words. Now, I had already told you twice that this story has unexpected ending. So, you have to describe here the end of the story in your own words. Now, I describe in my own way. Initially, Soapy had felt that he would like to pass the winter initially Soapy had felt that he would like to pass the winter months in prison, and he makes several efforts to get himself arrested. I repeat, in the beginning of the story or initially Soapy had felt that he would like to pass the winter months in prison, and he makes several efforts to get himself arrested. The notes of Anthem transform him from within, and he decides to give up his evil ways and become a man again. He resolves to work hard and to live a virtuous life. At that very moment, ironically, a policeman arrests him for loitering and he is sent to the prison for 3 months. Soapy faces the irony of fate as the moment he realizes that the real freedom lies in a virtuous life, he is taken into the confinement or to the prison. This is what the irony of fate is. Now friends, we should stop here. In my next video lecture, I will discuss the brainstorming section of this lesson. Once again, I remind you, if you have any doubt or any query about the lesson, you can contact me personally through WhatsApp only, and I will answer you by making a call. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.